All right, so let's go ahead and get started. My name is Rory Powers. I'm with Right Line Trading, and I'm going to be showing you what I believe to be, with these automated trading bots, really the future of trading. These are fully automated, that are integrated and leveraging advanced machine learning algorithm that I'm going to be going into detail during this presentation. And let me start by saying that I am not a licensed financial advisor. This presentation is strictly for educational and demonstration purposes only. If you're not familiar with the risks associated with trading, please consult with a licensed financial advisor. You really have the potential of losing your entire trading account while trading these financial instruments. With that being said, I just wanted to touch on the transparency that Right Line Trading that we practice on a daily basis. We're vendors of trading software, and what we do is, and our policy of full transparency is we trade our bots live on YouTube every morning at 9:15 a.m. Eastern. And if you stay till the end, I'm going to put in the chat box a link that come Monday morning, you'll be able to come in and join us on YouTube Live and see these bots perform on a live market. And that's really a testament to the transparency of Right Line Trading. I always start out with this beautiful testimonial, a beautiful woman, God-fearing, God-loving woman, extremely spiritual. Her name is Marcia, and Marcia sent us this beautiful testimonial. And in it, you could find the full version and hear it from her own mouth on our YouTube channel. And basically, I'm going to paraphrase it. Her experience level, it's important to know, was she was a complete newbie when she came to us. She was kind of initiated into this niche with a company that sold her some bots that trade the forex markets. They sold her a bill of goods, sent it to her with no clear instructions on how to install it or set it up or how to trade it, and kind of patted her on the back and wished her the best of luck. And that's when she came to us, really with little to no experience, had gotten burnt, and with a little bit of a bad taste in her mouth, kind of jumped right in and put her faith in these automated trading bots in our company to help guide her through a really treacherous trading environment. But she was able, it's important to know that she was able to make accomplishments that would have taken the average person who really didn't have exposure to these tools and training in our community of traders. It would have taken anyone else years and thousands and 10,000s of dollars. Listen, the way we learned is we learned from the school of hard knocks. When I started trading, we didn't have this luxury of these automated bots that are leveraging artificial intelligence. If we wanted to trade, we'd put $5,000 or $10,000 into the game, and we would take our bumps and bruises, and they were very costly mistakes. And that's how we learned. So the next go at it, when we put up our next $5,000, we didn't make those same mistakes again. And through that learning journey, we got a lot of bumps and bruises. We hit a lot of speed bumps and pitfalls in that trading journey. Well, Marcia, within the first 60 days of trading, had 16, now she has 20, funded trading accounts. And she has 20 fully funded $50,000 accounts, or $1 million in trading capital. So when she takes a trade, she has the ability to copy it across 20 accounts and really make some significant paydays with maybe $100 or $200 a day across 20 accounts, is $2,000 to $4,000 a day, which is a tremendous amount of money. So the learning curve was significantly shortened. She was able to accomplish achievements that would have taken anybody else years to learn. And she did it in very short order, 60 days or less. And she's really a very valuable member of our community. She's truly an inspiration, not only to our other members, but all of us here on our staff. And our team here at Right Line Trading, I don't want to take too much time on your Friday. I want you to go and enjoy the weekend. But I think it's important that if you do decide to come aboard and get in the game, and you're going to put your hard-earned money into your trading, you want to deal with a company that's reputable, that has a proven track record, that's experienced, that's educated, that isn't going to take your money and pat you on the back and wish you good luck. And that's the end of the relationship. Our vision here at Right Line Trading, excuse me, is to develop innovative trading strategies that provide our members with an edge. What kind of edge, you might think? Well, the technology that we've integrated into these bots is cutting edge. If you've been living under a rock and you haven't noticed, we're in the midst of an AI revolution. This AI technology is really being integrated into just about every aspect of our economy, every sector of our economy, from entertainment and media to education, manufacturing, transportation, and logistics. Did you know, finance, did you know that algorithmic trading, that 95% of large institutions, hedge funds, and investment firms are trading with automated algos. Number one on the top 10 list is healthcare. Artificial intelligence is being leveraged in healthcare as the number one sector in our economy. So this artificial intelligence is really gives our members an edge, not only our members, but us as well, when trading the financial markets. Along the way, Right Line Trading now has been around for about 14, going on 15 years. We've built a tremendous community, a beautiful community of traders of all experience levels. On that spectrum, where we discussed Marcia being at the far left, or the complete newbie, well, we have members to the extreme far right in experience levels, I'm referring, not politically. But the extreme far right of that spectrum would be like a professional full-time trader. And we have many members that are at that level, and everything that falls in between. We have members of our community that really provide a tremendous amount of support to one another via our Discord chat group. It's really great information. I always say there's power in numbers. To be able to go into Discord and learning what other traders, what's working for them. Sometimes even more important, what's not working for them. So we could sidestep those speed bumps and those pitfalls and save ourselves, the slipping on that banana peel, I like to refer to it as. So there's definitely power in numbers, and we have a beautiful community in Discord chat. Very briefly, our staff here at Right Line Trading, we have 3 professional traders. We have Craig Emery in our futures trading room. He's developed a very unique style in trading the NASDAQ. And we have Mr. David Kushner. He's our prop trading extraordinaire. Mr. David Wise, he's our expert when it comes to trading options. These guys are, really have a rules-based system that they follow. They have certain conditions that must be met in order for them to pull the trigger and take a trade. A lot like a robot, they don't make human errors. They're very disciplined and patient, and they have a trading plan, and they wait for everything to align just so all their rules are met on their little checklist. And when they've got all the little check marks checked off, they're in that trade, and that's where they define risk as being the lowest. And their potential to make a profit on the trade is at the highest. Well, I made the analogy kind of like a bot, and that's really what it is, because a bot has no human emotion, doesn't make any human mistakes. Behind the desk here at Right Line Trading, I've got some professional, master's degree educated engineers and software developers. Brock Miller, who happens to be my right-hand man. Brock he's a college student. He's getting his degree in computer science, and he's really, over these last few years, learned the business, and he helps out in just about every department here. Mr. Charles Sider. Charles is kind of a community favorite because he's a giver. Let me tell you something about Charles. He works 6 days a week, probably, and with no exaggeration, 12-hour, even sometimes more, 12-hour days. He comes to our meetings. He's on the West Coast in California, and we're all on the East Coast. He comes to our meetings. It's 5 a.m. his time, and he's working till 8 p.m. Eastern. So that's do the math. It's like a 14, 15-hour day. And he does it 6 days a week. But what I really love about Charles is his attention to detail. He has his master's degree from UCLA, and his experience is in computer science. He's meticulous. He makes sure all the I's are dotted, the T's are crossed. Mr. Sergio Rodriguez has been with Right Line for 8 years now, and he also has a master's degree in computer science. And he was the main benefactor of we went into a collaboration a few years ago when Mark Miller purchased the company. We went into a collaboration with a world-renowned AI development lab. And the AI development lab got with Sergio, and they taught him how to integrate these machine learning algorithms into NinjaTrader code. Mark Miller wanted to have cutting-edge technology that was current and kind of ahead of our competitors. Well, let me tell you, Sergio is just the man for the job. When he gets challenged, he digs in harder and he finds solutions. He's incredible. So he's really figured out how to leverage artificial intelligence into NinjaTrader language. Mark Miller is the owner of Right Line Trading. He leads our team. He has his MBA from Cal State. He's an extremely intelligent guy. Not only that, but he's a U.S. Army vet. And he has his MBA. I think it's important to note that his MBA happens to be in automation and robotics. He bought the company from Mark Sachs. Mark Sachs, just to give you a little history, was probably one of the smartest people that I've ever met my entire life. This guy was a walking encyclopedia. And he built these beautiful, powerful indicators that are all multi-time frame fractal indicators that are based on mathematical modeling. And he left us this core foundation of indicators that when he passed the baton to Mark Miller, and Mark Miller integrated that AI technology, well, the progression has just been incredible. And it was I like to call it the perfect handoff of the baton. So that's a little bit of a history lesson. But Mark Miller does lead our team here, and he's brought those core military values. And if any of you have ever served the country, or you're a first responder, or any occupation really that puts others before self, I really, appreciate your service, and we owe you a debt of gratitude. But Mark has brought those core military values, honesty, transparency, integrity, and he's put them at the forefront of everything that we do here at Right Line Trading. And I really respect him a great deal for that. He's truly a man of God. A little bit about the voice that you hear behind the scenes here. My name is Rory Powers, and I reside here in South Florida. And I'm a graduate of Syracuse University. My passion not only is trading the financial markets, but I love saltwater fishing. And my prize catch, and this was the one that didn't get away, was my beautiful wife. This was just the other day. My wife's birthday was March 25th, and we took the kids out to dinner, and we got a little bit of a family picture. We have a 6-year-old, a 2-year-old, and my wife all share the same birthday month in March. So it's a big celebratory month in the Powers household. So on a recent fishing trip, this other picture shows Mark Miller. Really, I mean, one of the most fun people you've ever, I've ever had the opportunity to spend some time with. Everything he does in a big way with a tremendous amount of enthusiasm, and it's really infectious. He's a lot of fun. Sergio, Luque, we've been working together here forever, but we caught some beautiful grouper and snapper right in the Florida Keys, brought it back, and the boat brought us back in, and they cooked up those fish right in that restaurant. But let's get to the heart of the matter here. And I like to say the genesis, the very beginning. What was the birth of these automated bots? And this woman, God, I love this picture because this is really the epitome. And I have the pleasure of answering the phones here at Right Line Trading. And it really is a privilege to get to speak to so many of you. And I've gotten to learn, I've gotten to know you on a personal level, so many of you. And I really, you guys have really become part of my family, my trading family. But anyway, this nice woman, and by answering the phone, I've talked to several people that have this, come through the line just like this, with trading. But this nice woman, if you had to put this picture, some perspective into it, here you have a professional, probably a conservative, nice-mannered, well-mannered lady, family woman. And over the course of the last several weeks or months, she's watched her trading account, as you can see here on her graph, dwindle down to nearly nothing, where finally she has reached her boiling point. And in her bottom drawer, she has pulled out the sledgehammer. She's pulled out all the stops now. She's absolutely certain that there's a conspiracy going on between her broker and the market makers in order to take her money and take her stops out anytime she takes a trade. And she's finally reached that boiling point that she's ready to smash that trading monitor into a million pieces. And oh my God, have I been there. Listen, I've blown out personally dozens of prop accounts and live accounts, and I fully understand exactly what this nice lady's mindset is at this moment of time. And speaking to so many of you, I know that you do too. And that was the genesis of these automated bots, because we've all experienced it. I was in an investor summit with a really intelligent guy. His name is Chris Vermeulen. And one of the most common mistakes that we make as traders, and happens to do with something that I don't think that we can really do much about, except to make ourselves aware so we're not in denial. Denial, they say it's one of the only things you don't know you're in until you're out of. So Christopher Mullen did a study of human personality traits and whether or not those personality traits lend well to being a good disciplined trader. A few examples of those personality traits. You have the driver. The driver's the guy who's saying, go, go, go. And he might be pulling that trigger a little more often than he should. Um, then you have the analytic. Another personality very common is the analytic. The analytic is very nervous to pull the trigger and make a wrong decision. And then you have the emotional, which I think I fall under this category. The emotional sees the P&L moving up and down and is a little emotionally attached to their money and doesn't want to give up their profits. They may squeeze their stop or bail out on a trade too early. Well, that's an emotional. So Christopher Mullen found that out of the 10 or so core personality traits, that maybe one or two of these core personality traits lends well to being a good disciplined trader. So listen, if you've had some trouble with consistency or you have some problem with human error, human emotions, you're not alone. 95% of us as traders, only because we're humans, right, suffer from these problems, these issues. We've also, run into a few of these other problems. We may have bought indicators that lag price or lack of a proven trading methodology. But the bottom line is it all leads to that same cold, desolate place of blowing out our trading account. So it's really been our team's commitment to bring this to an end. We've narrowed it down to two things that we believe are going to create trading success. Number one, we have to have the proper tool set, and this goes to getting any task done. If you're a surgeon, you're not going to go to surgery and try to make an incision with a butter knife. No, you're going to have a very sharp scalpel, fresh out of the bag, and you're going to make a beautiful incision so it does the job in the most efficient and the best way possible. Well, the same holds true for trading. You don't want to go into a fast-moving market, and your competitors are using tools that are technologically more advanced than the ones that you're using, or that the indicators you're using don't define risk as well as they should. And that's really as software developers, being able to sidestep losers, especially when it comes to automation, is really the difference between having a positive equity curve or a negative equity curve. So the proper tool set that will identify risk and be able to sidestep the losers. Because we suffer from human emotions, ideally we want software that can do the heavy lifting for us so we don't make those human errors. Man, did I make some bonehead mistakes this week. And that's what we do. We're humans. And we can't beat ourselves up over it. I made a bonehead move this week. And one of our members, Dr. Hansen, he said, hey, don't beat yourself up. Just come back tomorrow and do it. And that's what I have to say something about traders that I really love is that we are really overcomers. We do not give up. We're soldiers, and we may take some bumps or bruises, but we always come back and the fight continues. We persevere, and that's what we do as traders. So the benefits from using our AI AutoTrader is there's no more overthinking or hesitating. These are trades that are executed automatically when our playbook or our conditions, in this case, each one of our strategies has conditions that must be met before it takes a trade. And we define risk by each one of these conditions that have to be met. And when they've all been met, we deem risk at its lowest, and this system is going to fire in and it's going to place your stop and your profit targets in the most ideal places. And I'm going to tell you in just a moment, our AI AutoTrader, there's 4 components that we've leveraged artificial intelligence into. There's pattern recognition. We have dynamically adjusting profits and stops. We have dynamically changing trading hours. And we have, believe it or not, we have this self-learning model that also chooses which trigger to get into a trade. So we've got a really sophisticated system that does everything automated, completely automated. If you're a prop trader, stick around because we've got some prop trading templates that are specifically designed, number 1, to pass the evaluation, number 2, to keep you funded and get you payouts. That's what, as a prop trader, that's the ultimate goal, is we got to get payouts or we're just spinning our wheels. So let's keep moving. What is the difference? We have 2 systems here. We have our AI AutoTrader and we have our iBots. The main difference is going to be with the AI AutoTrader is we have that pattern recognition and technical analysis. These are AI-driven, data-driven outputs that have high probability trade setups. All of the stops and profit targets are placed on your chart based on the average true range of the market. Just to give you a little understanding of how it works, each one of our bots runs in tandem with what we call a drone. A drone is also a bot. The drone trades like a drunken sailor, okay? 23 hours out of the day, the drone is going to be trading. And what it's doing is what a drone does, just what it sounds like. When you think of a drone, you think of an aircraft hovering above the environment, hovering above the landscape, and getting a bird's eye view. And it's sharing the intel of what it could see from above, and it's sharing the intel with the user. Well, this drone is acting in a very similar manner. For this trading drone, what it's doing is it's sharing a database with the bot, and it's telling the bot what the average true range of the market is. It's running through a closed loop system. It's running the mathematics of where to put your stop and your profit targets based on the range where you have the most likelihood of getting a profitable trade. Think of it as a calculator running in real time, running a tremendous amount of data through its brain, and in milliseconds, putting your stop and profit target in the perfect, and mathematically speaking, statistically speaking, the perfect place, the absolute perfect place, okay? And doing it every time without ever making a mistake. That's funny. Daniel said Rory's special March Madness. Billy, I'm going to address that. Billy mentions that he bought some bots from a different vendor. And I am going to address that, Billy. Listen, I know that you had a bad experience, but that's not the case with all vendors. I assure you of that. And I'm going to show you what one of our members had to say about that. They had a very similar experience. I talked to members of our community. Marcia is not alone. I mentioned at the beginning that Marcia had purchased from a Forex company. There's dozens of vendors out there, unfortunately, that don't hold the same type of ethics that we value here. And I really think that distinguishes us from a lot of our competitors. So I really appreciate your honesty, Billy, with that comment. But let me not lose my place. I'm going to address that at the end. Now, the AI integration prevents us from having to continuously optimize the inputs of our parameters. Because the drone and the bot are sharing intel, so to speak, the bot is dynamically adjusting its own parameters. It's adjusting what the trading hours are. Let me show you real quick. In the strategy parameters, you can see here that we can have up to 3 trading session hours. So the drone is going to tell the bot, the drone is trading 23 hours a day. It's trading through the Asian Open, it's trading through the London Open, and the New York Stock Exchange Open. And it's finding out, it's learning when are the most profitable times to trade this specific strategy. And it's sharing that input with the bot. The bot is going to dynamically change its trading session hours based on the past 10 trades of the drone. Listen, this is, we used to think, well, we need to do a further look back. We need to do a 30-day look back, but that's not true. What we found was having a model, an AI model of 10 trades is a lot better. We're in a very news-driven market that the conditions change on the drop of a dime. With the market changing from a choppy, ranging market to a market like today that's, you've got a falling knife and there's a huge sell-off in the matter of minutes. Well, this is going to dynamically change very quickly, and it's going to place your stop and profit targets in the perfect place. It's going to only trade during the times that it makes the most money. It has a candlestick pattern recognition component. For example, we use the engulfing candles a lot. If we're in a long trade and all of a sudden we get this ugly bearish engulfing candle, and through that machine learning algorithm, it learns that when we get those engulfing candles, the market is likely to reverse. It's going to get out of that trade and take profits quickly or minimize the loss on that position. So it recognizes candlestick patterns as well. The iBot, okay, is really a powerhouse. The iBot, what that's leveraging is through a professional grade data feed. We use either Kinetic or IQ. We're going to stream the live market internals from the stock or the cash market. And what we're specifically tracking are the imbalances of advancing or versus declining volume. If there's an overabundance of sellers, now listen, this is the epitome of having the pulse of the market on our fingertip. People always say, and it's become a catchphrase, our methodology is to follow along with institutional money. Well, how do you do it? How do you do it? Well, the way we do it is we stream this professional grade data feed that's looking at these imbalances across the Dow, NASDAQ, S&P 500, Russell, and the New York Stock Exchange right off the cash market, looking at these market internals. This is going to give you a jump. And man, I'll tell you, in our live stream today, that's how we were able to put those numbers that I started off with showing you. Those iBots, when it sensed that imbalance and that sell-off today, those iBots jumped in short and just pulled in an enormous amount of money, streaming that data from the stock markets. So that's really the main difference between the AI and the iBot. The iBot, just to give you a little perspective, a lot what I just mentioned. We're generating lightning fast, highly accurate entry signals that are far superior to lagging indicators. We're not looking at MACD crossovers or oscillator divergences. Those signals reflect what happened already. We've got our finger directly on the DNA of the market. When we're trading futures, getting in is a matter of milliseconds is the difference between pulling in a loser and a winner. I assure you. Listen, I've really crunched the numbers and data for years with this, running it on several instances of NinjaTrader, and getting in a tick or two earlier can mean the difference of the entire trajectory of your trading session. This is the edge that this iBot provides you with. I like to call it the fastest trigger in trading. Clint Eastwood, he had the fastest trigger as a gunslinger. This iBot has the fastest trigger in automation, leveraging those market internals via the kinetic data feed. So this just gives you an idea. Parity is there's an equal number of advancing and declining. There is no imbalance. There's an equal relation to advancing and declining volume. However, once there's a disparity and there's a large number of buyers or sellers, that trigger is met and it's going to pop you in. And oh my goodness, did it pop us in today? On this ES4U, let me show you an example. On this ES4U, which hit our profit goal and stopped trading, all of these bots, once they hit your profit goal, they're going to stop trading for the day. But this was taken on a live market. In fact, it was all recorded today on YouTube. But if I go back, and you can see the entries that this bot took on this move down to make this money, it was a thing of beauty. If it was your trading system and you were realizing those gains, you'd be extremely happy, I assure you. Not only did it do it across a number of different time frames on the E-mini, but it also did it on the NASDAQ, and that's our 1-2 punch. The E-mini and the NASDAQ is our 1-2 punch. We've diversified into precious metals with gold. January 20th, or Inauguration Day, was the rebirth for trading gold. When Donald Trump came into office, the only thing certain in today's market is uncertainty. And when there's uncertainty, gold is really where a lot of these hedge funds and institutional traders rotate their equity into a safe haven. So look at the 20U, which also hit our profit goal. If we go back and take a look at that move down today, and you'll see where my trades were triggered. It caught this tremendous move down and made $4,000 in under an hour in today's trading session. This was on the 20U. The 16U, it did it on the 20U, the 24U. These iBots today made over $20,000 in today's trading session. So it's a real powerhouse of a system. We've never seen numbers like it before. In fact, the timing, and Mark Miller, the owner of Right Line Trading, I always say he's a visionary. Knowing that the results that we were getting with these bots, and this is not an April Fool's joke, come April 1st, we are launching, we're very excited to announce, and I was in a big meeting for the last 2 or 3 hours with the company that's doing all the workflows behind the scene with Rhythmic and the back end of these prop accounts. But Right Line Funding, Mark Miller, what we're looking to do is establish a win-win relationship. We want to build a team of traders from our members, and we want to provide you with the funding and establish a profit share relationship that's very advantageous to you. It really is. It's an 80-20 split, and we're going to fund you if you can prove that you can be consistently profitable. we're going to give you a cash account. And with the profits, the performance of these iBots and these AI bots, we really believe that this is going to be really a turning point in the trajectory of your trading career, especially if we provide you with the money and the means to make it happen. So a lot of our members ask me, they say, Rory, what's been the difference? Or I've bought bots from other vendors. Why should I take the chance with yours? I've been burnt. I've lost money. Well, the big difference is this AI technology, I'm telling you. We have a member. His name is Robert. Robert, his passion, and he happens to work for another vendor in the same niche. So he's a professional and he's a full-time trader. But his passion, okay, he loves bots. That's what he does. He's in probably 10 different communities of Discord in different vendors' Discord groups because he buys all their bots. He loves it. And he happens to have purchased our bots. And what he told me was this. This is a member that's been trading the AI AutoTrader on the ES bot. It trades a 30 range, and he's made over the last 6 months, he's made over $50,000, $56,000 in profits, what he's made. And he told me, he said, Rory, the difference between you guys, not me personally, the difference between right line trading and your competitors is that you do not have to optimize your bots. I've had the same settings in your bots running on this AI technology, and I have not had to change a single input. Regardless of market conditions, I never changed a setting. He said every other bot I've bought on a weekly basis, he has to run through his analyzation, the strategy analyzer and the back tests, and he has to redo the inputs on a weekly, sometimes a daily basis. He said, Rory, with yours, I never did it once. And he sent us members of his own family, his own trading family. He's sent to us several that have purchased these bots with us. So that's really been the difference. I mentioned the candlestick patterns. This is an analysis, and I'm going to show you in real time how this works. The drone is running 23 hours a day. And what it's doing is it's telling the bot on this graph, on the bottom axis, is each half hour of the day. This is 8:30, 9, 9:30, 10, 10:30. You can see between 8 and 10:30, this drone racks it in. Man, it does good. But then after 10:30 or 11, it's hit or miss. It doesn't do so well. Well, what this does is it tells the bot, hey, I'm doing really good. I'm making all this money here. So just trade those hours. And this session at the end, it ends off doing really well towards the closing bell. So just trade that. But all of this, just sit on your hands. Nothing's doing. And that's exactly what your bot's going to do. So what does that do? Your output, your efficiency, is that it's that much more efficient. Let me show you in real life the trade performance on this ES30 range. On this ES30 range, you see here, if I look at the summary, this is our bot. This is the ES30 range bot. The bot is the one that's self-optimizing, that's making itself, it's optimizing its own parameters based on the data that the drone is sharing with it. So you could see my bot. It's just beautiful. It's one. Let me see here. The winning percentage isn't that great, but my average losing trade is 500. My average winning trade is 1562. So I don't have to have a very high winning percentage. With our bots, if you're anywhere at 40%, you're going to be making a mint. So this one here, you could see when it traded. The max drawdown was 1,700. This week, trading one contract, it brought in $2,500 on 7 trades. 7 trades the whole week. Now you think of a bot, you think of a system that just keeps trading, over trading. With these bots, it's taking the quality trades. It's taking them at the most opportune times. It's not just trading to be in a trade. It's trading because statistically, based on the data, you have the best chance of it becoming profitable. If I look in relation to the bot and we look at the drone lost $4,000. Okay. If we look at the analysis, this shows you when it was profitable, which half hours of the day. So if I go to my bot, it's going to show us that it's only trading the profitable sessions of the day. You can see right here, all that other red stuff, it stepped aside. It didn't trade. The bot only traded when that drone was profitable. Okay, and that's what this slide is showing you, is the dynamically adjusting trading hours of our AI auto trader. So let me showcase the best performing bots. The best performing bots, this is a time frame between February 1st and March 10th. Between February 1st and March 10th, the AI ES30 range on a signal C entry brought in $15,544, trading just one contract. You can see the beautiful equity curve of that bot. The iBot, that's the ES on the 4U. That's the one I showed you just a few minutes ago that racked it up today, hit our profit target of 2,500. After commissions, it was 2,387 today. But from February 1st to March 14th, this bot is up $17,220. February 1st to March 14th, and it's continued to do well right up until today. On the AI trader, the ES30 range, this is using the multiple triggers, is up $20,000 on the AI system trading the E-mini, $20,000. So we've got some real powerhouse bots. The NQ16U, 21,700. Today, to give you an idea of how it did today, my NQ16U, I don't know if you can see it or not, but it's up $4,140. $4,140. iBot NQ16U, they just crushed it today. So 21,700. So we've got, let me tell you, we've got an extremely powerful portfolio of bots that run on the NASDAQ and the E-mini. That's really our 1-2 punch. This is the performance of the iBot that runs on a 1 minute from February 1st to March 14th. Oh, and by the way, Billy, the gentleman that I'm referring to is also a member of the community that you mentioned. And I don't really like to mention other vendors because I'm not that type. But he is part of that community that you mentioned. So the iBot on the 1 minute was up $26,293. When we test these things for months at a time before we release them, when we saw the numbers that these iBots were putting up, it's hard to put a price tag on it. It really is. But what we did very quickly is we got our prop firm in place because we want to be on this. We want to establish a win-win relationship. And if we provide you with the funding and we have an 80-20 split, everybody can be happy, and nobody's going to go bankrupt. So if you're a prop trader, our prop trading firm opens on Monday. Well, let me take that back. It's actually not Monday. It's April 1st. We just got the keys to the kingdom today. I just recorded a 2 or 3 hour meeting, and I took some screenshots just so you could see kind of the behind the scenes look of what goes on behind the scenes of these prop firms on the back end of this. These workflows take, let me tell you, it took 3 or 4 weeks to put these workflows together. That's just one snippet. There's 2 or 3 others that I have. So there's a lot of work that goes into it behind the scenes. So everything is conforms, and there's a lot of rules and regulations that we have to abide by before being able to provide funding for traders. But we have crossed all the hurdles, and April 1st is the grand opening of our prop trading firm. The website again is Right Line Funding. If you go to our website on Right Line Funding, make sure to put your email in for the coupon code. We're going to be doing something special for our grand opening. So I recommend putting your email address and sending it through. We are getting those messages. So I like to refer to these bots as prop trading on steroids. I personally trade the bots live on YouTube every morning, and I use a trade copier. You can see in the background here, this must be Mark Miller's Apex, his control center. Mark Miller is, everything he does is on a big scale. He uses a trade copier and he trades 20 accounts simultaneously. That's how he trades. And you have the potential with these bots, if you're trading over multiple accounts, whether you're going for grand slams like Mark does, or if you're like me and your profit goal is a couple $100 a day, we've got just the thing for you. We have our 1-day pass templates. These are templates that are designed to get you through the evaluation with one trade. They're very aggressive. Templates. Let me see if I could show you an example. And this is about a 1-minute video. Let me see. I think this is right here. So let me set up this video. Mark is on YouTube in this video, and he's got 6 accounts on his trade copier, and he's going for the 1-day pass on the NASDAQ. And the NASDAQ is only going to take the trade when during the time of this trading session that historically it's the most profitable. And it's going to go the maximum number of contracts in order to pass the evaluation in one trade. So he gets into the trade on just a beautiful entry, trading 10 contracts, looking for 62 ticks. Now, what's really great about this is we have what's called a profit window. On all of our trades, when you become within 10 or 15 ticks of that profit target, our stop is going to automatically jump up, and it's going to be an equal distance from price that your profit target is. So if you're 15 ticks from your profit target, now your stop is going to jump up and be 15 ticks behind price. So we never want to risk more than we have the potential to make. So what's going to happen is you're going to see the trade go into his profit window in just a second. One more push up, and boom, he's in his profit target, and he just needs it to go all the way through, and it does. And on that one trade, he copied it across 6 evals, and he was able to get 6 funded accounts on that one trade, or $18,000. So that's the 1-day pass. It's a very aggressive strategy. And we have those for a number of our instruments. We also have on the flip side a couple of prop trading templates that we use. One of them I use every morning. I'm trading my prop accounts, my PA accounts that we'll teach you, and we'll have a template for that's fully automated, specifically designed to trade a PA account. Now, the statistics with the one-day passes, those are the all or nothings on the evals. What we really look at isn't so much what the net profit is. We look at the percentage of how profit, what is the win rate? What is the win rate? And we keep a very close eye on that. And every Friday in Discord, we give you the top bots on the one-day passes for that week. And I want to tell you, since I answer the phone here, I always like to be 100% honest. It says in my slide that it's 76% profitable. Yes, they can catch a winning streak and be that consistent. However, I always like to kind of under promise and over deliver. Statistically, it's probably more like 33%. 1 out of 3 of these trades on the one-day pass are going to pass the evaluation. Statistically, you could get none, you could make them all, but on the average, 1 out of 3, I'm very comfortable telling you, and I've seen it again and again and again, that it's about 1 out of 3 you get a funded account. Okay, so we do have those one-day pass templates. So we have the bots on that are good for the PA or the live account. Now, my personal PA accounts, this slide is from last week, and man, let me tell you something. I was on a win streak, like something I've never experienced really in my whole trading career. And you know, believe me, I work for Right Line Trading, but by no means does that make me a professional trader. I really don't have the emotions to be a good trader, but these bots have kind of brought me off the sidelines and back into the game, and they make me look good, believe it or not. So my PA accounts, and I want to give you more up to date because I always like to be honest. This was last week, and I was on a roll like you've never seen. I was up $18,865 coming into this week. And let me show my performance after this week. I took a $900 loss across 3 PA accounts this week. So you can see now on this equity curve, my slide doesn't show this past week. When you can see what happened this past week, I've got this red mark over these 3 PA accounts. And you know, one of the things is, you know, was a complete bonehead move. This morning though, I have to wear it. So listen, we are going to have weeks like I had this week where we're going to lose money. We can't win every time, or we'd have the Holy Grail. What we have is not the Holy Grail, but we have some strict rules that we adhere to. If we hit our loss limit, we stop trading. If we hit our profit goal, we stop trading, period. And there's a hard stop there. And all of that is coded into these parameters. We hard coded into the parameters a daily loss limit, a daily profit target. The system will automatically stop trading if you get there. But even taking this week's performance into account, I couldn't tell you any time in my trading career over the past 15 or 20 years that I was able to make in very short order $15,000 or $20,000. It just didn't happen. So these bots have been a real game changer in the trajectory of my trading career. And we do it every morning live on YouTube. And I'm going to share a link in just a minute here. These are some payouts. A very common question, and people are nervous. Can you get payouts using these bots? With Apex, yes. With Right Line Funding, yes. What this is considered is actually a semi-automated strategy. So If you're with a different company other than Apex or Right Line Funding, check and see what their rules are regarding semi-automated strategies. The reason I call this a semi-automated strategy is as a trader, now we share with you pre-formatted templates of all the inputs, but because we have the ability, and let me take out my template again. This is why this is considered a semi-automated strategy. As the end user, or a self-directed strategy, we have the ability to select the parameters for our trades. Now, don't get intimidated when you see this. We give you all pre-formatted templates. And remember, these are going to dynamically optimize themselves using our AI model. But because we have the ability to manually enter our own parameters, and once the trade is executed, we get a stop and a profit target that's projected on our chart. So we have the ability to manage our own position. You're always in control of the trades. Because of those two factors, this is a self-directed, semi-automated trading system. And it can be used to get payouts with the majority of the prop firms. I am going to get to your questions in just a minute. I'm just about done. Let me get to my special offer. Now, this is the testimonial that I wanted to show, and I think it's really important. I do see your questions, Billy. Exactly. That's his style. What Billy said was he's seen Mark trade 5 to 10 contracts per account. He either passes the eval or blows the account. For him, that's way too risky. Billy, you hit the nail on the head. Everybody has their own style. I'm more like, probably your style is more like me. We're a lot more conservative. I don't like to trade an eval all or nothing. I like to trade an eval like I'm going to trade my PA account, where I have to conform to a 20 or 30% consistency rule. And I want to hit singles and be able to do it repeatably every day. So that I totally agree with your comment there. But I don't want to lose my place. But I wanted to mention that the testimonial I was about to show you is coming up. We have a number of our members that are also sharing in the success. It's not only Mark and myself that are winning. Steve is a great member. He shared a number of strategies with our community. Sued, made $8,000 on the scalper. Steve was on a real roll. Simon, we have so many members from overseas, all throughout the UK, Australia, New Zealand. We have a number of traders from all around the world. Simon happens to be from the UK, I believe it is. And he made $16,433 in one trading session over 6 or 7 trading accounts. Limit Up, a very valuable member of our community. We have our Vietnam veteran, Mr. Ron N. Ron N is going to take those iBots. I spoke with him yesterday. He's going to put a $50,000 cash account, and he's going to trade them all as the full portfolio. He's been doing his due diligence. He knows what the max drawdown is, and he's going to go for it. And my hat's off to him. On a single trading session, he made $10,000 on gold. He's had 15 and 20,000 day sessions with the iBot, and that's what's led him to want to go for the gusto. One of our favorites in our community is Suzanne. Suzanne's been with us for a number of years. She's with Take Profit. She does extremely well leveraging the AI Auto and the iBots. She also has in her portfolio. So let me make my special offer. Before I do, I wanted to go to the testimonial right here. This testimonial is from Gary Sparks. And Gary Sparks, he's one of those quiet, humble guys. He's been a member for probably 7 or 8, 10 years. And I think I've heard him, say something. Yeah, I can count on one hand. But this particular day, in, this was on YouTube, this gentleman, Michael Edwards, was asking a lot of questions. And you could see in the exchange that Gary tells him he's a very quiet room member, but I have to give credit where it's due. There is a learning curve, but once you get it, it's the best. He has losses. Don't think that he doesn't have losses, but they're contained. So then Michael says, thanks. He says, Michael, I'll mention the others as a service and warning to stay away from. And he mentions a number of different vendors that he's bought bots from in the past. And the most important is what he closes with. He says that RLT has the far superior bot than our competitors. And that's a testament to this AI technology. So our special offer, we're going to keep the discount at 50%. And we're going to make the sale end on Monday. I always make it Monday now because I want to give you, if you've never seen our system trade on a live market, I want to provide you with that opportunity on Monday. I'm going to put a link in the chat box for our Monday morning live stream. Our live stream, I'm going to go ahead and create the webinar now. We're going to schedule the stream. We're going to reuse these settings. And I want to be able to put a link in the chat box. And we're going to make it for Monday, the 31st. That's going to be the last day of March, the 31st. The grand opening for our prop firm is the next day, Tuesday, April Fool's Day. So March 31st at 9:15 a.m. Eastern, and I'm going to get you a shareable link, and I'm going to put it in the chat box in just a moment. Let me see if I can find it. If you go to our YouTube channel, this is Right Line Trading on YouTube, and you click on the live tab, you can also find our live streams here. If you subscribe to our YouTube channel, you'll always get a notification when we go live. I was hoping to see the upcoming one. I don't see it. Let me see. Okay, here it is. Okay, so I'm going to put this link in the chat box, if I can find it. And I see Brock has already put the link for the AI auto. And also, Brock, if you'll put the link in for the iBot as well. Thank you. And below, Brock just added the iBot, and I'm going to give you a special 2-for-1, a buy one, get one offer. And here's the link for the live stream on Monday. Man, I'll tell you, whether you decide to come aboard or not, do yourself a favor and come check this system out. Today, it was like my eyes were popping out of my head. I couldn't believe it. So the special offer, here we go. The AI AutoTrader, we're going to do it a 50% discount. 50% off. Instead of $9.98, it's going to be $4.99 for the month on the AI Auto. If you want to take a much better value, it's going to be the annual membership. Now, let me back up for just a minute. What comes included with this, I always refer to it as the full Monty. What I mean by the full Monty is you're going to not only receive all of the strategy templates for the AI AutoTrader, you're going to get all of the chart templates that have all of the indicators on the chart for each and every one of our instruments. You're going to get all of the ATM strategies that we use. You're going to get the prop trading templates, those one-day passes, and those PA account templates. You're going to get the full Monty, the full portfolio of strategies of the AI Auto Trader. You'll also be a part of our Discord community of traders. You'll have a fast and easy setup. We're going to set up a time and we're going to install it for you. And you're going to have access to our YouTube live streams on a daily basis. So for the entire year, to trade with us live with the full portfolio of strategies and have 6 day a week, 18 hours a day support, it's $14.99 for the entire year. Listen, these bots on any given day can make $14.99 and with a cough, with a burp. It can burp $14.99. I'm not kidding you. I've done it in a single trading session in 80% of the live trading sessions on my PA accounts this month. So $14.99 for the whole year is an extremely good price. It's like $120 a month, okay? $120 a month, and you're going to have the most sophisticated automated trading system out there. You're going to trade it with us live every day, and you're going to be with us in Discord with our community of traders. And let me tell you something, this is going to be the time that you've changed the trajectory of your trading. I assure you. The lifetime membership, if you have the means, not all of us do, but if you do, obviously, or if you're someone that just doesn't like subscriptions, the one-time payment is $29.99 and you own it for life. Right now, there's no ongoing cost whatsoever. That's not going to last much longer. When we hit a certain threshold and we have so many owners, obviously for new members, there's going to be a maintenance fee. If you come aboard now, you'll be grandfathered in. You'll never have a maintenance fee. So it's a good time to come aboard now because we're getting there. So to own the AI Auto Trader Lifetime, $29.99. And that's the full Monty on a lifetime license. One of the payment options at checkout is PayPal. They have something very convenient called PayPal Later. Is that great? Instead of paying now, you could pay later. The good part about it, the best part, is there's no interest if you qualify for their credit. They'll break it up into 4 or 6 easy payments, and you'll pay over 4 or 6 months interest free. And that's an option at the checkout on our website now. So let's go on to the iBot. Here we go. The iBot, the cost of the iBot, because of the numbers that we've been getting, which are outrageous, the monthly normally is $15.98, and this is the full portfolio of the iBots. The iBots come with 5 NASDAQ templates and 5 E-mini templates. There's 5 and 5. For the monthly, it's cut in half to $7.99. Now remember, this iBot requires the additional data feed with Kinetic. You could subscribe to Kinetic for $78 a month and get their basic feed. It's a professional grade data feed that you would need from Kinetic. That $78 a month will allow us to create a connection on Ninja for Kinetic. Once we establish a Kinetic connection, we also establish a second connection with your prop firm or with Ninja Trader Brokerage or whoever your broker is, as long as they support Ninja. And we can trade these iBots with multiple connections, and man, we can really run up the score on them. So the annual price, which obviously is going to be a much better value than the monthly, you could trade it for the entire year for $29.99 for the entire year. For the entire year. Today, just about all of our iBots made that money in one trading session. The iBot ES4U would have paid for the year. The iBot 20U would have paid for the year. The iBot 16U would have paid for the lifetime. The iBot 24U. So that's why it's so hard to put a value on these bots. So the one-time payment is also 50% off. It's $59.99. You'll own it for the rest of your life. Now, if you're a legacy client, and what I mean by a legacy client, we always look out for our members. If you've purchased one of our trading systems in the past on a lifetime license, we're going to provide you with a significant discount that's going to probably end on Monday. We've been doing this now for the first month. The legacy clients, you're a legacy client with Right Line Trading, and we do have to verify it. You're going to get it a 75% discount on the regular price. It's going to be $29.99 for legacy clients. You'll own it for life. If you're interested and you are a legacy client, please send an email to support@rightlinetrading.com. Support@rightlinetrading.com if you're a legacy client. If you order this weekend, we're going to get you set up so you're ready to rock and roll come Monday morning. We put you to the top of our queue. We drop what we're doing, and we get you in. Now, here we go. Here's our buy one, get one free. Come aboard this weekend before Monday. And if you buy the iBot, we're going to include the AI AutoTrader. This is a buy one, get one free offer. Buy the iBot, get the AI included. So we're going to do it for the monthly, the annual, and the lifetime. So for the monthly $7.99, you're going to have both the iBots and the AI. They both run together seamlessly. The annual $29.99, you're going to have the best of both worlds. The one-time payment, $59.99, you're going to own everything forever without any ongoing maintenance fees. And you'll also qualify for 3 one-on-one mentorship sessions. 3 one-on-one mentorship sessions for the one-time payment sales. We're going to get you set up immediately. So that's our special offer. If I don't get to your question during this session, please put your name and your number in the chat box. I'm going to go to the questions now, and if I can't get to them all, I assure you, I'll be in the office tomorrow in the afternoon. If I can't get to it today, I will call you tomorrow in the afternoon between 12 and 5 on Saturday. We do provide you with unlimited VIP support. You'll be trading with us on YouTube. And let me take a look at the questions. Hey, Daniel. When is a good time for a brief call? How about right after this ends? Stephen, give me a call. Stephen, put your name and number. Stephen, please put your name and number in. Let me answer that to you privately. Billy, for the iBots, Billy asks, do you have to buy the kinetic data feed? The iBots require the kinetic data feed. I got your number, Tim. The iBots, yes. The AI Auto, no. Look, if you go to Kinetic, let me tell you, it's not a big deal. I used to think it was a big pain in the neck and it would be another expense, but it's nothing. I'm going to go to Kinetic's website, and they have this $78.75 a month. Let me tell you something. If your bots are able to pull in these types of numbers that I'm showing you here today, paying the $78, it's just the cost of doing business. $78, I assure you, it's not going to hurt. And we create a separate connection, and it integrates seamlessly. So to answer your question, for the iBot, Billy, yes, you need Kinetic. For the AI AutoTrader, no. Just a regular data feed is fine. David asks, David, I think I answered that for the legacy clients. We're doing that for the iBots. We're doing the $29.99. If you're interested, send me an email. This is the last weekend we're going to do it. You're right, Rodney. It was. Rodney said, "I bet it was this company," and that is the company that he mentioned. Um, Hi, Dora. Thank you for joining me today. Thank you for asking that question. Dora asks, can we use it on Thinkorswim or TradingView? Thank you for asking that. The answer is no. You can only use it on NinjaTrader 8 or any broker. Wait, well, let me back up here now because you hit on one that could be an exception. With Thinkorswim, and I don't want to try to reinvent the wheel here, but Thinkorswim now, you do have the ability with Ninja to create a connection. But there is an ability to create one with interactive brokers. If you can create a connection, then you can trade it on Ninja. Okay, but the short answer is no, you can't trade it on Thinkorswim. The long answer is you could establish a connection with Schwab right to NinjaTrader and trade it on stocks, not futures. I wouldn't reinvent the wheel. Stick with what's working. Namra, let me read your question. I'm willing to work with you, Arman. I am willing to work with you. Let me see here. Okay. No, actually, you guys did mention two different companies. Our number one goal, thank you for saying that, Daniel. Daniel said that ROT has very sincere and dedicated professionals. That's a fact. Armand, that's why we are willing to help any one of our members. And I do it every day. I make my calendar readily available. It's also why we stream live on YouTube. There's no other vendor out there that's streaming every morning on YouTube their bots. We're one of the only ones doing it. And it's a matter of being transparent. Think of the time and money you would have saved with some of these vendors that you've bought bots from if you were able to join them on YouTube and hold their feet to the fire and see what type of performance they're getting on their prop accounts. You know, that's where the honesty and transparency in dealing with a credible company that truly cares about its members. That's what distinguishes right line trading. So thank you for pointing that out, Daniel. Dora, if you put your name and your number, I will gladly call you and discuss that with you. Absolutely. The answer is yes. Billy, if you put your name and number in. Thank you, Dora. All right. Listen, I wanted to end with this because I showed you very briefly the trade performance on my PA accounts, and it's 100% fact that I am the world's. I always consider myself to be the world's worst trader because, like I said in the beginning, the emotional errors that we make. Well, mine happens to be bailing out of trades too early and pulling my stop. I smother the trades. With this automation, it's giving me a new lease on my trading life. I can't tell you how many nights I've gone to sleep talking to myself because I blew another trading account. And just when I thought I had turned the corner and I strung together a few good trading sessions, I did it again. And the very definition of insanity is to continue to do the same thing over and over again and expect different results. So I want to encourage you. As traders, we're perseverers. I've kind of found something that works for me with my, I want to call it handicap, with my handicap being that I'm I let these emotional errors get in the way of my trading. I've found a solution with these automated trading bots. So my ending and closing message is that I truly believe that these bots will be the turning point in your trading career as well, because there's no way possible you're a worse trader than me. And I say that with 100% sincerity. So listen, I want to thank you for your time. If you left your number, I'm going to give you a call tomorrow. I'm stuck in meetings all day. We're launching Right Line Funding on Tuesday, and there's a lot of work in the background that you wouldn't believe. But listen, I want you to really have a blessed weekend. My wife is an RN with Cigna, and she always reminds me that our health is really the most important thing. And I really hope that you're able to spend quality time, because our time is limited, with the people that you care about the most. God bless you. Have a great weekend, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me today. Thank you, William. Dora, go to rightlinefunding.com. Put your email address in. We're going to do something special. Dora asked, should we expect a coupon code for the funding account? It might not be instantaneous because like I said, our grand opening is April 1st, but I encourage you to put your email in. All right, Dora. You're welcome, Tom. God bless. Have a great weekend, everybody. I assure you, if you left your name and number, tomorrow I'll be in the office and I'm going to give you a call. Thank you. Have a great weekend.